So let's have a quick little overview of the Cashbook in HealthQuest. So to get to the Cashbook, we go to Index, Cashbook, and the major thing that we use here is the expenses. So we'll go into the expenses. We've got two example expenses here in the database. So we've got one for Quest for Health and one for the rent for Green Street. So you'll see there you can put the invoice date, you can put the payment date, so you click the pay button when you're about to pay that invoice. There's an account code database, so that'll give you a drop down list of account codes. We've done product purchases with Quest for Health. You can put their ABN, although not totally necessary. You can, this will give you a drop down list of every supplier in your database as you build up the creditors there. You can put the invoice number if you want to track those details. Again, that's optional. And then you put the amount due and it'll calculate out the GST. So let me just show you putting in a new record. So we'll put in a new record. A great shortcut for today's date is Control minus. So that'll pop in today's date. And we'll click in here and I'll type PRO to take us to product purchases. You can edit those account codes by clicking the blue account code area at the top, so you can add new account codes to your database. So you could change the BAS code if you wanted to make it a capital purchase. You've bought a new red Maserati for your business. You might want to pop that in there. So we will add a new supplier here. So we'll spend some money with Auburn and we'll spend $2,000. So one thing we have to do here is to confirm and click in the GST amount. So you have to click this GST button to confirm that. The reason for that is there are quite a few suppliers, so you might have bought a bunch of coconut oil that is GST free with Auburn. So then your GST amount might only be $150 on your invoice, so you can override that or just confirm it by clicking the GST button. You can also pop in a private amount use. So for the rent, if you were practicing from home and your rent was $1,500, 2/3 of that is private, as an example. So then we can click on, okay, we paid our rent today. We'll enter the payment type and then click continue. So we'll click on payment type and we paid this bill with bank transfer. So we'll click on bank transfer and then we'll press enter or continue. So you can put in here today's date or a different date. So we'll just pop in today's date. So this is in the payments database. We've popped in there. You'll see our private amount use there is broken down. And we'll just click the expenses button at the top to go back to the expenses. So you'll see now that we've pressed pay that the payment date will appear next to this invoice. If, for example, we choose to pay the Auburn invoice, we'll do a payment type. This time we'll pay by credit card and press continue. And we'll put a different date. So we paid that one on the 30th of the 4th, 2016. And then press continue, and then we can pop back into the expenses database. So that's a brief overview of expenses and making payments on those expenses in that database.